Hi guys, Freddy here. Welcome back to the desktop for another retro RPG, and this week I would like to present this. Fluid Mechanics, a sourcebook for Blue Planet version 2. Technology in the world of Blue Planet. Now I've gone over the first edition Blue Planet rulebook before, because I don't actually have version 2. I picked up this sourcebook because I do love the world of Blue Planet. As I mentioned in videos before, I absolutely love oceans and undersea things, and it's a science fiction game set on another world which humans have discovered. It's a kind of cyberpunk world where the Earth is a bit wrecked, but they've found a wormhole leading to this other planet. So the new frontier is there. Cyberpunk level technology is being put on to colonizing this ocean planet. And I really like it a lot. It's a really good game. One of the things I like about the rulebook most of all is about 3/4 of it are world building before you get onto the rules. The rules themselves are a tiny bit at the back of the book, totally inconsequential to the world it's building, which is something which is fantastic. But let's get onto this sourcebook. This is a technology sourcebook. Let's have a look at the back cover. Blue Planet Fluid Mechanics. More than just a guide to gear, Fluid Mechanics presents detailed information on the design and capabilities of computers, cybernetics, genetic modifications, robots and remotes, cetacean tech, weapons, vehicles, and much more. If you've been itching to get your hands on Hanover Autoworks' new Cormorant ground effect plane, Hydrospan Smartguide navigation software, or Atlas Materials HardTarget battledress, your wait is coming to an end. This Blue Planet sourcebook includes everything players and moderators need to incorporate high technology into their games. Detailed descriptions of new equipment and technology, from infantry support weapons to fusion-powered torch ships. Information about specific equipment models manufactured by the incorporate, from Hanover Autoworks Hurricane Jump Racer to the McLeod Silver Special 14mm Magnum. Overviews of several core technology fields, including computers, communications, medicine, and vehicles. New rules for equipment durability, damage, and malfunction. Complete streamlined rules for vehicle chases and dogfights by Biohazard Games. And Fantasy Flight. So it's an FFG game as well. And flicking inside, you can see the artwork isn't spectacular. It's a fairly decently illustrated book. It's got some interesting ideas if the artwork is a bit generic, to tell the truth. Technology key. Fluid Mechanics is the first supplement for the Blue Planet V2 role-playing game. It's a resource that details the technology of the setting, providing players with descriptions and game stats for new equipment, gear, biomodifications, weapons, and vehicles of all kinds. Yes, and it details the technology behind. So if we go into the hardware bit, hardware section, we've got construction, technology level, manufacturers, details of how fusion reactors work, history of controlled nuclear fusion began in 1950 in the Soviet Union when Andrei Sakharov and Igor Tamm designed the tokamak. And we go into how that has developed. You know, they use helium-3 based deuterium reactions. And we've got different power sources, so hydrogen stills, kinetic generators, solar panels, wind cutters. We're on to power tools. So the 3-axe, a 3-axis machining device, a depolarizer, a staser torch, an industrial version of the staser weapon. A staser torch focuses its energy at 3 centimeters beyond its nozzle. So it uses sonic cutting. Ultrasonic interaction with the target makes the device sound like an underwater buzzsaw. We've got sensors. We've got life support pods, so like a drop pod from orbit. Personal propulsion. Smart fins and sail kites. Different ways of getting around on the water. Materials. So we're detailing everything here to give the player and games master access to the technology which exists in the world. And that's something that Blue Planet's very good at. They don't just list a bunch of equipment, they detail the technology, allowing you to see how these things would be used a bit, using your imagination a bit more. Polyflex armor, assault polyflex, Computers and communications, so going through how hardware, software works, data spikes to hack machines, communications, hydrophones, because of course being able to communicate underwater, electromagnetic radiation is absorbed, so radios are next to useless underwater, but you've got hydrophones, multicoms, ultrasound communicators, infrasound, espionage technology, a current detection glove, facial disguise kit, fiber optic tap, different things used so you can monitor people. Very useful for the technology that's going out into this world, which isn't highly industrialized, where people are spread out a lot. Pheromone scanners, medical technology, autodocs, induction blocks, multi-spectrum imagers, just giving you everything to detail the world for your players. And one of the things I do like, although it's a little short, we've got recreational drugs here. So we've got different medicines, but we've also got recreational drugs. Because as we know from the real world, different drugs get used for recreational purposes. And that's something that many role-playing games skip over. You know, you get all the wonderful drugs which allow you to react quicker in combat and take hits, but there's nothing that people would just take on a dance floor to enjoy an evening, which is something that's really common in the real world but gets missed out from games, because I think the game's designers are a little touchy about it. They don't want to introduce the idea that taking drugs might be fun, but a lot of people do take drugs and a lot of people do find them fun. Not saying whether it's good or bad, but it's something that happens in the world, and games should kind of simulate that. I think I've ranted a little there. Robots and remotes. Something I do like about games which came out before the turn of the millennium is the fact that drones don't tend to get referred to as drones. Something that we now know, and we've seen flying over various countries which have been involved with war. You know, we've got drone strikes and all that. But these didn't have a name at the time. People did refer to them as robots, remotes, and various other terms. So hover remote, triage remote, a medical one, nutritional catalyst, pest spike, rescue die. So you can mark the area of water so people can see where you are. Cetacean hardware, because of course they're using whales and dolphins to aid them on this water world. There's no point in taking trained dogs and things because the world is like 90% water. So they've got dolphins and things which are modified to help. So we've got various headgear, power shell, utility harness. I seem to remember there's one with arms, perhaps that comes later. Got zero-G thruster pack. As odd as it may seem, cetaceans are well adapted to life in zero-G. Three-dimensional activity underwater is similar to activity in a weightless environment, and fins are innately more capable as a result. Then we're on to weapons, going through weapons technology, guided weapons, firing over the horizon. Start off with melee weapons, McLeod Carbon Edge, machetes, diamond machete, concealable handguns, stun guns, long arms. Now the artwork's alright, it's a bit lacking, not every weapon is detailed with a drawing, which is something that I like. If I'm playing a game, I kind of want to know what my character's carrying and have an image of it. These technical drawings aren't too difficult to do, so not having one for every weapon is annoying, but the artwork itself doesn't look too practical. While it's an interesting looking weapon, I don't see how that would be realistic. But there we go, I'm criticising the artwork that is there, when I started off criticising the fact that there was a lack of artwork. Anti-vehicle mines, infantry missile launchers, bloop tube, type of grenade launcher. We've got biotech and cybernetic modification. Second-hand cyberware. Always nice to get somebody's second-hand eyes. Social considerations. Different types. cybernetic limb replacements, cybernetic eye implants, Awake, a small artificial gland connected to this simple microprocessor and located near the user's carotid artery. Seems odd to have a gland which wakes you up, although it does seem to be able to keep you awake for much longer, rather than just having a digital watch with an alarm, or your phone. Genetic modification therapy, including double-jointed photoskin. You can get yourself totally modified. A glider, so you can get like bat wings but under your arms. Total genetic redesigns. The detail of race relations when people aren't completely human. Whether there's racism there. Hybrid species, surgical modifications. And then we're on to cetacean biotech. Osmoform with manipulators. There's the arm things that I remembered. So basically we've got trailing tentacles or arms for different types of dolphins. They can actually do things. What else we got here? And then we're on to vehicles. Again, a lack of illustrations for every vehicle. The swamp thing, I would have liked to have known what that was. We've got one for the hovercraft here. But we're straight onto a hover train. A patrol jump craft. The artwork is a bit rudimentary, but it's good where it exists. But again, I would have liked to have had artwork for all these. An image tells 1,000 words, as they say. The hover train. Is it just a train in image, a series of carriages, or does it require tracks to go onto? An image would have got that across, but now I have to go and look into the text. The Cormorant ground effect plane. Trident fast assault trimaran. A mining hard suit. And then we're into sort of strike submersibles and then orbital craft. Because although it's on the water world, there is, of course, all the space travel to get there in the first place. This is a science fiction game, not just cyberpunk. A fusion torch ship, the ships that they use to get between Earth and Poseidon, which is the water world. The Admiral Robert Perry survey vessel. Ballard-class interstellar transports. I'm guessing named after Robert Ballard, the oceanographer, who used to have comments at the end of Sequest DSV, if I remember correctly. So we've got the rules for combat with vehicles here, crashes and chases. Vehicle combat, speed, called shots, and guided weapons. And then we're on some tables of the weapons and an index. And we've got an advert for other things from Fantasy Flight Games. We've got Blue Planet version 2 here, the player's guide and the moderator's guide. I'm going to split the rulebook up into two. One of the reasons why I didn't bother upgrading to the second edition, because I didn't want multiple books. I was happy with just a single rulebook. That just seemed a bit of a cash grab to me. I can't say whether it was or wasn't. And other products from Fantasy Flight Games. Disc Wars, Battle Mist, Mag Blast, Thunder's Edge, Through the Desert board game. I'm afraid I have never heard of any of those. And that's Blue Planet Fluid Mechanics. It's a nice source book. I really liked it because it goes into the detail of the technology in the world rather than just being a list of equipment. I highly recommend it. If you do like the Blue Planet setting, then Fluid Mechanics really does flesh out on it a lot, especially technology, which is something your players will be using a heck of a lot. But that's kind of all I've got to say about it. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe this video. You'd be doing me a massive favour. But, as always, you look after yourselves, and I'll catch you later. Bye now.